Hi, my name is Leticia Scordino, and I'm here today with Kate Ebbott and Reade, and we're going to be preparing a wonderful meal, and it's called the Buddha Bowl. I belong to an environment group here in Manchester called Earth Matters. We seek to make the public aware of clean air, environment, and water, and of course climate change. Regenerative ag is a solution for changing the environment. And we have a plot in the Manchester Community Garden. And we are growing wonderful nutritional food, organic, with the Regen Ag principles. And this year was our first year, and we distributed our food to the food cupboards and to other organizations such as Grateful Hearts.
I'm Kate Ebbott, and I am the head chef at Grateful Hearts, and it is a fabulous organization. We also have a community garden plot where we grow a lot of herbs and tomatoes and some other things that we use as staples all the time. And we were fortunate enough to meet Earth Matters group and see all the wonderful work they are doing in their garden.
Hey, I'm Reade. Today we are going to be cooking the Buddha Bowl. And the Buddha Bowl is a phenomenon that's come up in the past 5 or 10 years, probably 5 years. And the concept of Buddha Bowl, it connotes balance and calm. However, in our Grateful Hearts approach, it's a little more tumble and blend. So it's just a beautiful bowl filled with a mixture of grains and proteins, all sorts of different textures and flavors that are cooked separately and then combined for just ultimate nutrition and health and just beauty.
So this is Basmati Rice. Bas in Hindu means aromatic, and Mati means full of. So it's full of aroma. At Grateful Hearts, we love to cook with our 5 senses. We consider that the best tool for cooking, and we definitely get our hands into it. So the way to make fluffy, perfect rice is to just rinse all the excess starch off of it. And now we're ready to put it in a pot of cold water, which we will, this is 2 cups into 4 cups of water, 2 to 1, which we will put on high, or semi-high, and boil it, and then cover it and simmer it for 20 minutes.
So an important element of the Buddha Bowl is the beans, obviously the beans and the rice. And so I always start with rinsing my beans, rinsing them. And I also am going to add a little bit of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of baking soda for 1 cup of dry beans. And that helps break down some of the natural, the complex sugars. And it also says that it can be, helps reduce some of the flatulence. But Kate, I have a question. There's the eternal debate. Soaking your beans or not soaking? What's the word?
Well, there are some people who are wed to soaking overnight for a long time, but I think the bottom line is the smaller the bean, the less you have to soak it. The larger the bean, the more you have to soak it. Be careful about soaking it too much because, you know, it can really break down the skin, and then when you start to simmer it,
You get mushy beans.
You get very mushy beans. And you lose a lot of the flavor and the nutrients.
And also, baking soda, yes. Salt, no. Salt toughens the beans, actually.
Yeah.
So these guys are going to cook. These are very fresh beans, so they're going to cook faster. So these will cook here at a low simmer for about 40 minutes.
Okay.
It is squash season, winter squash season to be exact. Yes, it is loaded with all sorts of vitamins, vitamin A in particular, but also an ever-growing list of nutrients. And in addition, it's very low calorie. Our bodies really crave it during this transition time. So it is a great addition to your superfood list of meal planning. Anyway, the shell can be, this shell can actually be quite daunting and hard to get a knife through. So what we do, or I do, you can just stick it in the microwave for 5 minutes, and magically, one is coming out. And then I just make a flat spot by cutting that off. And then look at this, like butter. It just,
That's amazing.
the seeds also are quite nutritious. You can just take a spoon, wipe them right out. It is easy peasy. And then we're going to roast them. I'm going to take some olive oil and my paintbrush, my handy paintbrush, and just paint. We have acorn squash here and delicata squash. There we go. Nice little set of olive oil, a little sprinkle of pepper, and salt. We use Himalayan sea salt because it's very mild and it retains a lot of minerals. So at Grateful Hearts, that's what we use very often.
Now, Kate, one question. Can you eat the skin on the delicata squash?
Absolutely. Actually, that's one of the few squashes that you can eat the skin on. So we're going to roast them. The delicata squash is actually a summer squash that is transformed to winter. So we're going to give them a little flip over and roast them bottoms up in the oven at 375 for approximately probably 25 minutes for the delicata and probably 40 minutes for the acorn squash.
And Kate, how come upside down?
It helps retain a lot of the nutrients and it caramelizes the squash.
And kind of steams them a bit?
It does,
Nice.
yes.
Right now, we're going to do a little chopping of the onion and the garlic and the celery and the carrot. And here's kind of a fun fact. We actually, at Grateful Hearts, we always do a vegetable stock. We always have one cooking on the stove as we cook. And we put all the scraps, including onion skins, are incredible to include in your vegetable stock because it has so many phytonutrients. So even the onion skins go right in there. So there's that. All right. And Kate, hey, you mind if I throw in your squash top?
Go for it.
Into the stock pot it goes.
Stock pot. Okay.
There you go. Onto a flat surface. Boom, 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 boom. You want to always have a flat end, a flat base for chopping. And
Who taught you to chop? How come you're so good at it?
because I was bad at it for so long. So there's the onion. Another quick way to open up get the paper off the garlic. Flat end of your knife, like that, pops right off. Pops right off. One more time for that.
And you throw the skin of the garlic in the...
I do.
Oh,
Yep.
Wow.
You hear it crack, and it just pops right off.
Yeah.
So much faster. Okay, into the stock pot for that. And then what also I do with the garlic, I just say same concept. Smash it down. Do a few of them at the same time.
And you add no salt while you're squashing it?
No,
Like,
I don't.
okay.
So there's your onions and your garlic. We'll come back to that in a sec. And then a little celery. Just trim off the end, no waste, into the stock pot. Same thing with the leaves. You know, the farm fresh celery has so many leaves. Into the stock pot.
You're good at that.
Chop and Chat's taught me a few things. Thanks to Chef Kate. There is our part of the beginning of our Holy Trinity, and we're going to go to the quartet in a minute. Carrots. Also, we don't peel these.
Yes, question for you.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you, how come?
Because the most nutrients are just at the skin and just under that little tiny epidermis. Same thing for apples and carrots. And we wash them. And again, these are good organic carrots. So we just take them and just...
No idea.
Yoder Farm carrots. Amazing stuff. So there we have it. Pretty colorful thing. Carrots, celery, garlic, and onions. Into the saute pan we'll go next. All right, so I put in a little glug of nice olive oil right here.
Maria, curiosity, why olive oil? Why did you pick olive oil?
It all depends on the flavor profile you're trying to get. So you can use butter, you can use vegetable oil, you can use extra virgin olive oil, you can use regular light olive oil. They all have a different smoke point. Butter has the lowest smoke point. Butter will smoke at 350 degrees. Vegetable oil will smoke at about 400, and regular olive oil about 410.
Really?
And the one with the highest smoke point is actually a light olive oil. So got these guys going here. Normally I'd let it go for about 5 minutes or so for a nice, start getting a gentle caramelization. Gonna throw in some of the garlic we chopped.
Do you add salt?
I actually do add, just like Kate said, a little bit of Himalayan salt. That again, somehow, I don't know the science, but it does help the caramelization factor. All right, so I've got some nice browning on the onions and garlic mixture, and this is a perfect chance to throw in the celery. So it looks pretty good right there. And then this just melds all together, and it just becomes the base of pretty much every international cuisine. Onions, garlic, celery.
And is it good when it browns that way?
Yes, yeah, that brings out the sweeteners come out. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
okay.
So it both softens and sweetens them. So that's going to do its thing for a little bit, and we'll move on to the next step.
Okay, so we're going to add a little fresh crunch to the Buddha bowl today with some apple. And you can take an apple cutter like this that cores and cuts all at once and just go right down it. Again, we don't peel the apple because a lot of the nutrients are in the skin or close to the skin. So we can just, that is easy and beautiful. If you don't have one of these handy things, I just have to give a shout out to Ann and Dick, one of several of our Grateful Hearts people. They just slice around the apple. And that works as well too. And there you have it, sliced and cored. So once you cut apples, they tend to start browning. So if you just put them in a little bit of water with lemon juice in it, acidulated water, it'll arrest the browning process.
Okay. So now I'm just cutting off the nice thick stem ends of the parsley. You make sure you use the stem ends. I hate it when people throw it away. There's so much texture and flavor, and parsley is just a nutrient powerhouse, just packed with vitamin C. And it actually grows outside my house all through the winter, and I always go by and grab a little handful, and it's just a breath freshener, and it's just it really lightens you up in the winter. It's great.
So we're going to add some kale and saute it with the onions, garlic, and celery. We have some curly kale, some salad Savoy kale, and dino kale with us. And it's so easy. Just pull it, destem it. Dino kale, I just take a knife, run right down the stem. You can pull the rest off.
Kate, you know what question I'm going to ask. Why do you not use the stem?
Well, I saute, when we're wilting the kale, we just wilt the leaves.
Okay.
But the stem can actually be used like in pesto, in all sorts of things. For the Swiss chard, we're actually going to very finely chop the stem and add it to the saute pan.
Okay.
Yes. You can just roll this all together like a cigar. There you go. And then just chop, chop, chop. Look how beautiful that is.
Comes out in nice ribbon.
So kale gets a bum rap often. It is actually really delicious. We are going to wilt it today in the pan, but even if you just massage some olive oil, some really high quality olive oil, flavorful olive oil on it, and you can eat it raw in a salad. It's really beautiful. It's full of vitamin K. It is just, it's a liver detoxifier. So, I mean, it's the original hair of the dog. So.
And does it retain its color when it's liquefied so it looks prettier?
Well, when
Dark
it's
purple
wilted?
Yes, when it's wilted.
Yes, but if you wilt it too much, it actually does lose a little bit of its vibrancy.
All right, so now the chard stems, again, no way you should waste these beautiful, colorful stems, so cut them into nice. So now chard stems into the mix. We've got the onions, garlic, celery, and now colorful chard stems. All right, so to the saute mix, we're going to add the greens that Kate just chopped up. Stir them all in, mix them together, and then pop a top on them. And they'll just wilt down that way for a few minutes. We'll come back in a couple minutes, check them out. Okay, so now it's cooked for a few minutes. It's wilted down nice, and you can just see the kale is all soft. A little bit of moisture from the lid help break down the potentially tough kale and chard, and you've got a beautiful mix right here.
So to top off our Buddha bowl, we'll make a little vinaigrette. I mean, the best thing about making your own vinaigrette is that you get to choose the balance of oils and vinegar, the type of oil and vinegars that you're going to use, and the type of flavor enhancements as well. So today, we're just going to add a little oil, a little apple cider vinegar. I use probably 2-to-1 vinegar to oil, but usually it's about 50-50. Just a little dash of salt. And we have made some parsley pesto, which I'm going to throw a dash in. Emulsify it. And it'll be ready to go on pour over the Buddha bowl. Look how pretty the color is.
Parsley pesto versus basil?
That's right. So, and you make it the same way that you do with basil pesto. In a food processor, we add parsley leaves, a garlic clove, a little lemon. We use actually sunflower seeds as opposed to pignoli.
Oh.
They don't go as rancid, and they have that buttery creaminess to
Well, I
it.
get to eat the shell. So how do I assemble this? What do I do?
It is completely up to you. This is your moment for balance, harmony, and you can choose whether you want to, artfully put it into your bowl, or like Grateful Hearts.
We just tumble
mix
and
it all.
blend.
But I thought the principle to the Buddha bowl was that it has to be all separated in an artful fashion.
That's what a lot of people do, but to each his own. Balance and harmony.
Contentment and bliss in a bowl.
A little bit of beans.
Little rice, little beans.
A little bit of...
Look at all the colors.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
We got the parsley.
Carrot. I have the parsley.
Yep.
Yeah, I did it. I did the parsley, and I'm looking forward to the caramelized portion. I'm drawn to this. It's beautiful. Look.
Boy, it sure looks nice.
It looks beautiful. I love the different colors.
It's just It's just so healthy and nutritious and soul satisfying.
And I'm going to put a little apple on the side here.
Yep. Basically, it's whatever you have in your kitchen or your fridge. That's the joy of this dish too. Whatever you have on hand.
Could it be a pear?
Could be absolutely be a pear. Yep.
Great.
And don't forget your vinaigrette.
Oh, yes.
There it
All
is. The secret sauce right there.
There.
Yeah.
Complete.
Every meal is a celebration, and we definitely want to be grateful to St. Paul's, where Grateful Hearts originated 10 years ago, and thank them for hosting us today. Also for Earth Matters, for enabling Grateful Hearts to share how we cook the Grateful Hearts way. And also Theo, who is behind the camera, Theo Talcott, who has been willing to help film this segment today. Thank you.
Well, it takes a village to feed a community, and Grateful Hearts runs on the generous spirit and energy of more than 50 volunteers. So cheers to everyone involved.
All right.
And regenerative ag is the way to go. It's the future for our planet.
Hey, I'm Dale Coppin, and I'm the president and co-founder of the Grateful Hearts. And we have a website. You can find us online at www.gratefulheartsvt.org. And the Grateful Hearts, just to give you a history about the organization, we were founded in 2010. and primarily as a means to engage young people to help become involved with addressing the need of food insecurity. So what our mission is to rescue food that ordinarily would be identified as surplus and going to a compost heap. We rescue this food and convert it into beautiful, healthy, nutritious meals. In this country, there's 40% of all the food that is produced goes to waste. And that coupled with the 20% of the population that suffers from food insecurity, there's really no reason at all for people to suffer. And that's what the Grateful Hearts Ministry is all about. So we are currently partnered with Southwestern Vermont Medical Center with Burton here, Bennington College. We're also partnered with two Roman Catholic churches, St. Paul's here in Manchester and Sacred Heart down in Bennington. And then we have many distribution partners. But we are right now distributing over 40,000 individual meals per year. And that's all over Bennington County. And we have so many right now that we're advancing into Rutland County also.
I'm Kate Ebbott, and I'm the head chef for this fabulous organization called Grateful Hearts. And you can find us online at gratefulheartsvt.org. We are an all-volunteer organization that really welcomes more volunteers. We chop and chat once a week and package and distribute. So there's plenty of opportunity to do lots of volunteer work. If you would like to donate, we could appreciate that as well. We have a button on our website to donate now, and our address is also on our website. We receive about 500 pounds of produce a week, but we also need to purchase ingredients as 100 pounds of carrots does not a whole meal make. So we spend about $100 each week, and if people would like to pick a week and donate the purchased ingredients for that week through a check or other donation, that would be fabulous. We distribute to 27 different organizations that serve the food insecure in one way or another. So it could be backpack programs through seniors who need help to stay in their home, to drug rehabilitation centers, to all sorts of different organizations.
It gets to the
and
people.
They're all listed on our website, yes. The food is packaged in 2 and 4 serving packages, frozen, and then distributed through those organizations directly to the people who really need it. And they can take it home, reheat it, and have a very healthy meal in one bowl.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for what you're doing.
Oh, it's our pleasure, and we love doing what we do.
Right on. Tell us what we're doing here.
I'm just putting the last of the seasoning into the beet borscht. The beets came from Hildine, which has been such a great supporter this year for us, and we are just about finishing up on about 6 or 7 different menu items here. We had 500 pounds of produce donated this week, which we are making great use of.
Wow, look at this.
Okay, so now I have to take, hold on, I'm going to hold this up a little bit. Yeah, because, and I have to take
Jeff Scott, who's the executive chef at the West Mountain Inn in Arlington. Jeff and I are big Grateful Dead fans, and we wanted to start this organization because both of us were kind of influenced by the Grateful Dead. We're both musical inclined, and so we actually, our first discussion of the organization was to find a logo. If you go to our website, you'll see we're quite proud of our logo. logo. It's very beautiful, but there is some Grateful Dead influence in there because the sun that's in the background from the barn has radiating beams, which takes on the symbolism of the song Ripple. So we secretly got a nice symbolic message in our logo that's directly attributable to the Grateful Dead. So love you all. Thanks very much for watching.
Okay.
God bless.
That's